Right now at 6, one passenger is dead after an in-flight disaster on a Southwest flight bound for Dallas.
They said there was a hole and someone went out.
The plane's engine ripped apart and a cabin window blown out.
She was out of the window. Everyone kind of rushed in to pull her back into the plane.
Tonight, news stories of horror in the air and feelings of helplessness for loved ones on the ground.
We just tried to say all the things that we would want to say to each other if that was the last thing we got to say.
You're watching NBC5 News at 6.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Curtis.
And I'm Meredith Ann. The investigation into the Southwest in-flight disaster is only getting started, and we continue to learn more details right now. Flight 1380 from New York's LaGuardia Airport bound for Dallas Love Field was forced to divert for Philadelphia after engine failure. That resulted in the covering ripped from the left engine, partially sucking Jennifer Reardon, an Albuquerque woman, out of the plane after debris knocked out her window.
And all new details at 6. A passenger rushed to Reardon's aid, saying only her seatbelt stopped her from flying out the window. Tim McGinty says he and other passengers did everything they could to get her back inside.
It seemed like 2 minutes, and then it seemed like 2 hours. From the time we finally got her out and laid in the seat, it was 20 minutes or so.
McGinty tells us a firefighter from Salina also helped in that rescue attempt.
During those terrifying moments in the sky, some of the passengers were able to get messages to their family and friends on the ground.
All new at 6, Vanita Nair is here with one couple's powerful story you will see only on NBC5. Vanita.
Good evening, guys. Chad Bauer tells us that reading the text messages from his wife while the plane's engine was failing were some of the most terrifying and intense moments of his life. For 17 minutes, he says they both tried to tell each other everything they could in case they never spoke again.
Yeah. Well, I opened it and I was just like I just froze. Like I couldn't.
Chad Bauer's phone was in his pocket when his wife Gianna started texting.
It's like I couldn't even wrap my head around what I was reading.
At first, he didn't understand what she was telling him.
She said, "I think something may have hit the wing or something," and then I replied back and didn't hear back from her for about 5 minutes.
Then she sent this picture.
That's when I started to really panic. They announced we have to land. I'm so scared. Flight attendants are up checking everyone's oxygen.
Alone in his apartment, he called both their parents. He and his wife kept texting.
It's so bumpy. It's an emergency landing. I love you so much. And then for the next 5 minutes, we just tried to say all the things that we would want to say to each other if that was the last thing we got to say.
Bauer is still processing what they said.
It's weird because it was me saying goodbye to my wife who might have minutes left, and her trying to say goodbye to me who might have decades left. And that's just so weird. You were the greatest thing. You were the greatest gift in my life. I was like, not were, are. I couldn't, like, I just wasn't.
During the 3-minute emergency landing, Bauer didn't get any messages.
And then that's when she finally said, I landed, we lost an engine, window blew out.
Bauer says his wife of just 3 years practically never pays to get in-flight messaging. He's not sure why she chose to today, or why she left this message before her trip.
Yeah, I guess she wrote it. Someone wrote it, not me.
But he says the incident has forever changed him.
It's not every day or every year or every decade that you have that something happens that makes you stop and just be grateful for life and the people you get to live it with. And this was that moment.
Bauer tells us his wife may drive home from Philadelphia tomorrow. Understandably, she was too shaken up to catch a flight home tonight. He says most of all he wants to hug her and tell her he loves her.
Benita, thank you. Tonight, the plane remains in Philadelphia as investigators work to determine what went wrong.
Brandon Hudson joins us live from Philadelphia International Airport with the latest on the investigation. Brandon?
Yes, in the last half hour, airport staff rolled the plane away. The NTSB will work to find out what caused that engine explosion. The passengers who still wanted to fly to Dallas should arrive in Texas sometime around 9 o'clock Central. Take a look at the burned out engine and the shattered window. A woman almost flew out of that window, but passengers had to pull her back. Unfortunately, that woman, a mother of two, died. The passenger said the moments after the explosion there was bad turbulence and the oxygen mask dropped. Now, all passengers, not all of them, wanted to fly back to Dallas. Some of them, one of them said he was so shaken up that he will drive from Philly to Texas, which is roughly a 20-plus hour drive. Live at Philadelphia International Airport, I'm Brandon Hudson, NBC5.
Thank you, Brandon. Southwest CEO Gary Kelly is revealing more about the plane. He says it was inspected on Sunday. Kelly also expressed his condolences to the victim's family.
This is a very sad day, and on behalf of the entire Southwest family, I want to extend my deepest sympathies for the family and the loved ones of the deceased customer.
Kelly is promising Southwest's full cooperation with the NTSB investigation.
We will be updating the story throughout the evening as we learn more. For the newest details, plus more passenger video, interviews, and everything pertaining to this flight, just go to NBCDFW.com, click on this story.